All right, Blue-Black Pirates. If you haven't seen this deck before, or if you have, I've been iterating on this deck a bunch. This is currently my #1 pick for the Invitational this weekend, but, you know, there's 2 days between now and then. I'm locked into my Modern choice, but where Standard's going to end up at, who knows? It'll depend on the next couple of days of playing games and what cards I'm able to find. Things I've changed for today. I've cut the 4th Fathom Fleet Captain because this card's kind of clunky when it gets up in multiples to fit the 3rd Thought Erasure into the main deck. Thought Erasure has been really impressive, and if I end up playing this deck, I wouldn't be too surprised if I end up fitting all 4 copies into the main. This deck's very, very reasonable against things like Jeskai control when they don't have Niv Mizzet. So having access to Thought Erasure as a way to work our way through Niv, especially game 1, has been really important, I think. I have the 4th Thought Erasure in the sideboard, but Erasure is just really good because it's this card where it's never fully dead, right? Like, even in the late game when you draw it and they don't have a hand, it at least surveils. And it's not like a cast down where your opponent could be playing all legendary creatures or no creatures. Would I play a constructed event with this list? There's no reason to play a constructed event. I don't need to play for prizes on Magic Arena, and the people that you play against in the constructed events really don't seem to differ from the people that you play on the ladder. In fact, having watched a bunch of other people stream, and this is definitely some sample bias about what I'm about to say, but watching people stream who only play in the constructed events, it seems like there's a lot of people who play the constructed events that just are playing worse decks than I play against on the ladder. I'm playing Green-Black Elves in Modern. I top 4'd a local 2K tournament this past weekend with it. I like it a lot. Rune Raider's just clunky and expensive. I think if you wanted Rune Raider in the main of this deck, it would go in the Hostage Taker slot, but Hostage Taker is very good against mono red, white aggro, and Drakes. His hand's a little bit medium, but like Dive Down plus Thief of Sanity is hard to pass up, I think, here. I'm just gonna go ahead and jam this. They're obviously an aggressive deck with the Danto Vanguard. If they have their Lava Coil, I'm gonna feel real bad here, but I think with a Danto Vanguard on 2, I can't afford to play this until turn 3. 2K is in $2,000 for the prize pool. So the tournament itself had 100 players in it. That's brutal for us. This is one of our worst matchups. Deck full of flying blockers. Zeech, thank you for the 3-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, looks like just Angels. The red-white decks full of like large flyers is the hardest matchups for this archetype. One of the strengths of this deck is that you're able to go over the top of a lot of what other people are doing, and this deck has just a lot of things that get in our way, which is fine. Everything in Standard has some hard matchups, right? Like this Jeskai Angels deck basically has an unwinnable Jeskai control matchup because it just doesn't have good tools for that. I actually have been having a really reasonable time against Drakes. Haha, you've activated my trap card. I have emotes turned off. That was the long reading Dire Fleet Poisoner pause there. It's fine. They're gonna cast Lyra next turn. I'm gonna concede. We'll move on with our lives. Ooh, they don't have another big scary. They don't have another big scary. If the Thief of Sanity gets in a hit or two, we could steal this. Yeah, I think Poisoner is just a playable card. It's one of the many answers to Carnage Iron in this format. Why didn't they attack? Seems weird to not attack there. Looking for some bombs. So our deck doesn't have a lot of great cards to deal with their stuff, but their deck could have good cards to deal with their stuff. Oh, I had a 2/5. Duh, that makes sense. They should have attacked first. That's why. I always... Dive Down just does so much. Yeah, you're super right, Chet. I had a 2/5. They should have attacked first is what should have happened. Looks like you moved Hostage Shaker to the main board since the last time you thought the deck. I thought you were keeping it sideboard because of green-black's popularity. The format diversified, Dardia. There's a lot of decks going on in this format, and like, Hostage Shaker isn't that bad against green-black. Also, the more repetitions I've gotten in with the deck, the more Hostage Shaker just seems generically good. Because like, one of the things that this deck does really well is it demands a lot of removal for its cheap early creatures, which means by the time Hostage Taker hits the board, you generally have access to they generally have access to fewer pieces of removal. I think Direfleet Poisoner stole us this game by taking that Angel off the table. We need to dodge a Giant Flyer from them for like one more turn here, but if we could do that, we might be okay. I think if we get like one more hit in, we're gonna be good to go. It's unfortunate. Yeah, happy to sign Magic cards. What you got in your hand? Show me a blank. Yep. Great. This is trading Thief of Sanity for 5 points of damage here, which seems fine for me. So they're gonna go to 6. So next turn, they're going to get to activate this and go to 11 and make a 4/4. This History of Benalia might be able to pull us out here. Haven't actually done the counts. Yeah, they can hold back the Angel. That's possibly what they want to do. Because the Angel can be a 5/5 lifelinker, which is again a giant brick wall. Hostage Taker off the top lets us beat them holding back the Angel. I think this attack is correct from them. Usually I play blue for Teferi and some sideboard cards. So if I attack with everything here, they make this a 5/5. They eat this chump here. They go to 11. They take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They go to 3 and they get a 4/4. There's no reason to attack, right? Does, like, anything good come from attacking? I'll take that one. Nothing good comes from attacking, right? They eat this, they go to 3. Attack with Poisoner only. That's a good line. That's a good line. That's a fantastic line. You got Death Touch, chat. And again, like, I think matches like this are our hardest type of matchup for this archetype. And I still think we just, like, have legs to be competitive in it still. I'm not blocking this. They're gonna go to 9 and make a 4/4. Sure. So if I attack with everything, they go block, block, and they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think we're just dead here. Yeah, only hit for 7. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to quad block on the Angel last turn. You can't sacrifice Siren Stormtamer without a target for its ability. So you can't just sacrifice it for no reason, chat. That's not how Magic the Gathering works. This is a freebooter out matchup because it doesn't really take too many things profitably from them. Fungal Infection and Vial Offering seem good here. I need to cut 4 more cards. Oh yeah, this is the matchup that Price of Fame is in our sideboard for to try and improve. Need to cut non-creatures so Opt can come out. This is a Thought Erasure out matchup. Taking History of Benalia seems pretty important. Maybe Dive Down is narrow. I don't actually have that many removal spells. I guess they have Coil and stuff. I feel like I've boarded in too much removal. The Fungal Infections probably aren't good enough. The Infections go well with Fish's Offering, but I think they're just like not room. Maybe the Cast Downs are it. I leave a couple of Fungal Infections in. Cast Down kills the 3/3 Angel. Yeah, I think the Thought Erasures are worth playing for sure. Like, they generally have like a few really important cards, like being able to pick at them is good. Nah, Negate is not what this matchup is about. This matchup is about their flying threats and keeping them off the table so they can't kill me or block my stuff. Think they will side in more removal? I have no idea. Maybe. This is probably a hand where I don't play Thief of Sanity till 4 since I have Siren Stormtamer with it. Also, if I like tap out for Thief on 3, I guess the merit to playing Thief on 3 is that I don't want them to like hit. I don't want them to like play bigger, a like 4-mana flying blocker on turn 4. Deceitful Stroke's okay here. Drawing spells would be okay too. I think I just have to play this now and hope they don't have a removal spell, because Lookout's Dispersal needs to be up next turn for their 4-mana flyers. So like, if I'm holding up Lookout's Dispersal next turn, I can't play this next turn, and then like I don't play this till turn 5, which is just way too slow. And they unfortunately have Resplendent Angel here on curve. No, I don't think so. Because if I would have waited on the Lava Coil, I wouldn't have been able to keep attacking with my Thief of Sanity, continue drawing more cards and pressuring my opponent. Alright, well their hand is poop. Got it. That's fine. That kills my Siren Stormtamer basically, and that's it. Yeah, in 2 turns they can start activating this, so I have to draw my Oh, I didn't actually leave the cast downs in, did I? Yeah, this is reason to leave cast out in. Yeah, like, could you imagine if this had been a cast down here? And like, obviously there's situations where like this is gonna be better, but like if this had been cast down here, like we'd hit them and start hitting them with Thief of Sanity and just like be well on our way. That was a mistake. I should have played the Watery Grave tap there. Alright, need to draw a live one next turn. Got 3 Hostage Takers, a Price of Fame, and 2 Vicious Offerings to kill this. Perfect. So I have to pay 2 life here because I played my wrong land last turn. But I get to do this now, and this makes my Lookout's Dispersal cost 1 less. So that's nice. I would like to snake that one. Hostage Taker's been really impressive. It's very possible that I should just have 4 Takers in my 75. I just can't lose my Thief. Damn it. Feels bad, man. Yeah, I should have blocked to see if they paid 4 life. That's a good point, Rich. Alright, so this game should be over at this point, I think. Yeah, pretty close to over. I guess they could draw like another big bomb. I'm gonna take that. This kills most of their bombs. Good luck at your RPTQ, Kyle. Alright, so they flooded out and died. And then we have to try and win game 3 on the draw, which is scary. They didn't have any cards in their hand that I didn't know, so it actually just didn't matter. Yeah, I think we're gonna make our way to 4 Hostage Takers. The card's really, Hostage Taker is really good against white aggro and red aggro too, which is a big deal. Do I want these cast outs? Do I want these cast outs? God, I almost feel like I do. Maybe I want one, like just the tip. What are the odds they play into these Dire Fleet Poisoners again? Like really low? Like really low odds they play into these Dire Fleet Poisoners again? Can I go down to that few threats though? Like I only have 18 creatures in my deck right now, so like is boarding down to like 16 threats not good? Too many? Too few? Yeah, Thief of Sanity is very, very good. Yeah, I'm gonna just like lose this game with like cast downs in my hand and like Lyras and Shalais on the table. Yeah, it's always correct to block there and see if I can get them to pay the life. You are correct. If they pass priority AJ Crane, I just kill their thing in response. It just doesn't matter. Alright, it's a good pickup. Yeah, the non-active player always has the last say. This hand's gonna... Who's ready to get Excellence Binding on this? I know I am. This deck is gradually converging to blue-black Protect the Queen instead of Pirates. If you think we're gradually converging to that, you haven't been paying attention to this deck the whole time we've been playing it. This deck has always been blue-black Protect the Queen. It's literally what the deck's always been. All right, I'm gonna put a fourth one of these in my board and maybe trim. I don't know what I'm trimming. This Price of Fame's kind of poop. The one Price of Fame's probably fine. Taker's really good. I'll try it over the Price of Fame. I don't think it was incorrect to jam there. Like I don't have anything else to do. I don't have any protection in my hand. So like if I have like a dive down or a Siren Stormtamer, maybe it's right to wait a turn, but without anything like that, man, I'm definitely just supposed to jam and just like hope they don't have their 4 of. Yeah, I agree. Like with 2 more in my hand and no protection inside, I'm definitely just supposed to like play it. And that's one of the most difficult things about getting better when you're playing Magic and like learning the ins and outs of a deck is like making the correct percentage play doesn't mean you always win. In fact, there's gonna be a lot of situations. Magic's got a lot of variance in it. There's gonna be a lot of situations where you make the correct percentage play and then die in a horrible blaze anyways. Hey, Big Mama, thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back. Why? Why should I try and play around it? Tell me, don't make me like try and see into the future. In fact, I just explained why. Can you explain more about the Protect the Queen concept? Protect the Queen refers to you have one threat that's really important and your goal is to just keep that threat alive at all costs. So in this case, our queens in this deck are things like Thief of Sanity and whatever we strap Curious Obsession onto. Those are the queens. Keeping Carnage Tyrant there is really greedy. Are they missing a land drop? Wow, that's greedy. We've not drawn a Curious Obsession yet today. So they have double Jade Light Ranger here. Do I want a Thought Erasure? Thought Erasure makes me likely to hit a second land next turn. But if they jam Jade Light Ranger, I'm going to be really sad. I'd like to look out to Dispersal it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to pass here. If they don't draw land to play Jade Light Ranger, I just get to go ahead and play Dire Fleet Poisoner. I'm losing this race on the ground at the moment, so I really need to hit my land drop so I can start generating some card advantage here, ideally. Maybe hit a removal spell or two off of their deck. Deal. So I'm going to take this hit for 5 here, and then I'm going to play this Dire Fleet Poisoner at end of turn. I'm going to leave Dire Fleet Poisoner up to block this turn. I'm going to go ahead and Thought Erasure them, I think. Because I can Dire Fleet Poisoner block plus, give a Vraska Golgari Queen. I don't want them to have that one. I'm going to bin that dive down, looking for a land here. Oh, I should have attacked with the Land War Elf, because I'm not blocking with it, and I don't need the mana. Alright, there's some lands. They're unlocked. Missing this point of damage could end up biting me. So I block here, and then I dive this down to keep it alive, so I keep my Death Toucher around. Yeah, if they were one lower here, I'd actually be able to, if they were one lower, I'd have them dead in 2 in the air. So right now I don't have them dead in 2. Which could be super relevant here. We're a mill deck now, yep, right? Goodbye, friend. Ooh, that's a good one. Pop goes the weasel. So I need to dodge Finality off the top of their deck now. And like there's one here, one here. So like usually as these decks don't, so some of these decks played 4 once upon a time, but usually it's only like 2 to 3 of these cards. So pretty likely to dodge Finality here. No, I don't think so, Freak. I want to just use my mana efficiently. I shocked because I thought I might play the other Kitesail Freebooter, and then I realized I didn't want to. It doesn't really matter. So they drew a removal spell here. Okay. Put this over here. I would like to draw a card. Sure. So are dead to this. They're also dead to this too, but no reason to show him Hostage Taker here. Thanks for the magic card. Oh, Arena's taking a quick nap. How we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning. I'm not going to do a full shill, but I am going to need to re-kick Arena here. Thanks for dropping by. Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. My name's Jeff Hogan. I stream full-time here on Twitch. Play nothing but constructed card games here. Play a ton of standard on Magic Arena, and we play a ton of modern on Magic Online. What's your game plan against Tocatli Honor Guard? Tocatli Honor Guard stops exactly Dire Fleet's trigger, and so like your Kitesail Freebooters aren't even good against the Tocatli Honor Guard decks, and like it just stops Hostage Taker, so you can just like kill it with a cast down, or you can even ignore it. All right, blue, black, green. I want the extra erasure. What do I usually trim in this matchup? So I don't have Stroke in my board anymore, which is generally okay for this matchup. I think the extra erasures make up for that. I'm just gonna trim the ops. Do I want these Rune Raiders? Since they're playing, they had Land War Elves in their deck, right? Against the Land War Elf build, Fungal Infection usually is pretty good because it kills the elf and it can just like help you fog attacks. I usually trim Hostage Taker in this matchup, and I think I'm going to keep doing that. It's kind of expensive and clunky, and they can often kill it before you recast the thing. Need a way to deal with Wild Growth Walker? Not necessarily. You can block Wild Growth Walker in combat too. Yeah, exactly. The Fungal Infection kills Jade Light Rangers and the Branch Walkers, while the Explore triggers on the stack, which is nice. So like it lets you kill their elf in a mana efficient way, while also like being efficient a way to kill their Explore creatures. And like leaving the 1/1 blocker behind is not negligible in this deck that's often racing. Does SCG-Con start with Modern or Standard? I believe it's Modern. I'm pretty sure it's Modern Start and Modern Top 8. This hand's great. This hand needs a way to generate card advantage, but it's got pretty powerful spells in it. There's a way to generate card advantage. Sign me up. Yeah, Fungal's stock also goes up in this deck because I'm playing Vicious Offering as well. Well, that's incredibly annoying. I'm not sure what I want the Rune Raiders for. The Rune Raiders are theoretically in there for control, but I'm not sure if it's actually a card that I want. Yes, yeah, they watch the Ryan Kid on YouTube. He's very popular. Very, very popular. All right, so now we're just all in on the Protect the Queen plan here, right? Just gonna keep just to do our best mono blue impersonation here. I think the decks Warkite Marauder is good against aren't very good in the format. So like the only style of matchup where I really want an effect like Warkite Marauder, my deck is already like the only matchup where I would want a Warkite Marauder are like the Boros Angels deck, and I don't think that deck is popular enough to be worth sideboarding against. I didn't wait to Obsession the Freebooter because my opponent had Golden Demise on top of their deck, which meant I couldn't cast Freebooter on turn 2. And if I wasn't casting Freebooter on turn 2, I wasn't doing anything with my mana that turn, and I valued generating card advantage sooner and using my mana efficiently as opposed to waiting. So you're right, in general, putting the card advantage on the Freebooter is better, but I think because of the contextual information that I had about the current situation, it was better for me to just jam. That's a Doom Whisperer. All right. Well, if they hit a land next turn, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, they're hitting Jade Light Ranger. That's good for us. We are losing this race on the ground. Why did I counter the removal spell that was going to kill my creature with my Curious Obsession on it? Am I blocking with this? I'm not, right? Was it targeting the Freebooter? I wasn't paying attention. I just assumed they were killing my Stormtamer. You might be right. I just assumed they were targeting the correct thing. And maybe that's an assumption I shouldn't have made. I just assumed they were targeting this. If they were targeting this, I should have just let it die, most likely. So if I play this, I'm gonna shock this turn. I think that's worth it. And this is one of the reasons why Fungal Infection is so good. So, like, Fungal Infection is going to trade with this Jade Light Ranger inside of combat for us. We're basically looking to dodge Doom Whisperer at this point. Oh, this was a mistake on my part. I should have traded with the Merfolk Branchwalker. And the reason for this is their deck has Find in it, and I'd much rather they find the worst one of the two. All right, suit up. I'm stacking all of these on here because this one can protect this one. This needs to stay back and chump block this turn. Sign me up for Mr. Freebooter. Their out at this point is Finality. So I'm just gonna let this, I'm just gonna pass, because this can let me potentially rebuild after a Finality. So this means they're dead in the air. Sweet. Curious Obsession and Thief of Sanity are just like sweet fun cards. They're just like doing things that are powerful. I would love to play first Magic Arena. Any other stupid questions? No? Good. I watched the Legacy League on YouTube yesterday and had to look up some Narset Cannon to cleanse the palate. Yep. Legacy is something. Yeah, anybody who doesn't have kids, like, My kids, like, they love watching those YouTube videos. It's like what they watch is just like their television. Kids don't watch like Barney and Caillou or whatever we watched as children. God, another Angel mid-range deck. Brutal. Blippi is literally playing behind me right now. Yep. Okay, that's a good draw for down the line here. So I think I want to play Fathom Fleet Captain because I can start generating 2/2s here. I want to hold this Lookout's Dispersal up for turn 5 for this Lyra. They draw a removal spell. Okay, no removal spell is good for us. We're taking 4 here on this hit. I really want to draw a land in my top 2 cards here, so that way I can activate Fathom Fleet Captain plus play a 2-drop. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with both of these. They can't block him because he's menacing. So I'm going to do this. Ideally, I'd like to draw a land that doesn't hurt me to come into play untapped, but like Beggars Won't Be Choosers will definitely play this if we don't draw one. Perfect. So I'm going to do this. And I'm going to go ahead and play. I'm going to play Kitesail Freebooter here because, again, this Lookout's Dispersal is kind of being reserved for Lady Lyra here. The 1/2 is also like relevant this turn because it blocks the 1/1s that this thing makes profitably. Or to like jam a 4-drop down our throat. Nope, just an Adanto Vanguard. Okay, and like we're in a position where like they can't even afford to use Adanto Vanguard aggressively because I'll just be able to like punish them by racing. So this will make one of these a 2/2. My pirate will trade here. This will eat here. I'll take 5. I'll go to 11. I'm hitting them for 4 on the backswing next turn and making a 2/2. Drowned Catacomb is a great draw. I'm actually hitting them for 5 on the backswing here, right? Because I'm not blocking with this. The Drowned Catacomb's a good draw because it means that I'll be able to play Siren Stormtamer while still holding up Lookout's Dispersal here. This game is a good example of the card advantage that Fathom Fleet Captain can generate. Just like there's a lot of matches in the standard format where just like Fathom Fleet Captain making 2/2s is just like worthwhile. Huh. Do I jam this? There's no reason to jam this, right? I'd much rather just like Lookout's Dispersal and then I have them dead on board, right? No, not quite. They're at 9. Yeah, I think I hold the counter up here because like if I like jam the Thought Erasure and they rip something off the top that kills me, I'm just like I'm super dead. And there's no reason to risk that. This is my no button. Just boop it on the nose. Yeah, if they attack with the Adanto Vanguards here, I think I'm actually throwing both of these in front of them. All right, get my deck. Vicious Offering, Thought Erasure. Let's go to 4 Hostage Takers. Fungal Infection is fine. Yo-ho, fiddle-dee-dee. Being a pirate is all right with me. You do what you want because a pirate is free. What's going on, Demir Spy? Thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. So I know Freebooter was okay there, but I think Freebooter is actually a cut in this matchup just because they get to block it a lot and they don't have a ton of removal out of the opponent's deck. Yar, yo ho ho, do 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 do. What do we think of this? This is 18 threats. I think I get bored down to 18 threats. Hostage Taker, Thief of Sanity. Fungal Infection's like a pseudo threat. It's not really a threat. It's technically something we could strap a Curious Obsession to. So you board out Opt a lot in this deck, and this is actually a good lesson for people that are newer Magic players. Just because you're boarding out Opt a lot doesn't mean it's a bad card. So Opt is basically filler. Opt is a card where it basically gives you more virtual copies of every card that's in your deck, and post board, trimming the filler for more cards that are higher impact in a particular matchup makes sense, right? So instead of like digging for more removal spells, we just board more removal spells in. Whereas game one, we don't necessarily know what we're looking for because which cards we want with specific matchups is different. So Opt helps us find the cards we want game one, and then post board, we board them out for just more copies of those specific types of cards. I'm glad to be able to catch you live. What's going on, Ams Games? Thanks for the 313 sub. Welcome back. Gosh, this hand is so good with the blue source. No gamble, no future, right? We have 17 blue in the deck. We're up a game, chat. We're up a game and we have 17 blue. It's fine. Everybody calm down. Uh-oh, Raggy. That's fine. This one's about to get gobbled up. Come at me, bro. Gobble, gobble. Yeah, if we hit a blue source this turn, we should be in a pretty good spot. We just want to be able to Thought Erasure before they hit their 4s. He's dead, Jim. They killed him. Big scary angel. Yeah, I've had Disdainful Stroke in that slot before, J-Boss. So the reason why I put Rune Raider in the sideboard over Disdainful Stroke that I played in the past is that against control decks, you want to cut Direfleet Poisoner because its effect just isn't very good against control. And if you cut your Direfleet Poisoners against control, your deck is then too threat light. So the idea behind Rune Raider is that I can cut Direfleet Poisoner and still keep my threat density up, as opposed to just like having Mono Disruption. Because like, I need the ability to pressure my opponent in the control matchup, right? Like, I don't just want to board in and like play a control mirror post board with this deck. I want ways that actually like end the game. Because like, as the game goes long, Jeskai control is incredibly likely to be favored against us because their deck just has more beef at the top end. Wavelength, thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate the third of a year. Welcome back. But you are right that a merit for Disdainful Stroke is the fact that like it's good in the matchup against the Angels deck, which can be hard for us. Sure. Hopefully they play this stupid card on 1 and then we get to gobble up their 1/1 again. Yeah. Do they attack in with the 1/1 this turn, chat? Or did they learn their lesson? What do you think, chat? Did they learn? Did they learn? Has education happened? Ooh, that's scary. So do I Vicious Offering? I think I'm supposed to just Vicious Offering this, right? Because this is going to turn into a 3/3 otherwise. Yeah, I think I just have to Vicious. Sure. They have a shock too. They have a shock too. We're gonna be in trouble. Just Legion's Landing deal. Yeah, Taker was a good pickup for sure. Taker insulates us a little bit against their flying threats, which is nice. Ooh, that's a good pickup as well. Do I want to Taker the Vanguard? Why do I care about the Vanguard? I kind of just want to reserve the Taker to like make sure my Thief of Sanity continues to hit them. I think I take Aurelia, right? And I think the reason to take Aurelia here is because next turn, I'm actually not going to play the Aurelia here. I'm going to play Siren Stormtamer plus Direfleet Poisoner this turn. The reason to take Aurelia here is next turn, I can play her while protecting her with the Siren Stormtamer, which I think is appealing. And like, obviously, if they jam a big giant angel of their own here, then next turn I'll play Hostage Taker, which I can protect with Siren Stormtamer as well. So I'm taking 6 on this combat step, which feels bad, but it's like not the end of the world. I'm going to 13, they're going to 20. They're going to 21, sorry, they gained 4. Would like to eat this. You're correct, Boz, that Stroke is more flexible, but the point is that slot isn't doing what I want Stroke to do. The point of that slot is to have more threat density. Although now that I drew a 6th land and like have Hostage Taker for their Aurelia, I kind of wish I would have taken the Lyra, right? That's fine. We'll find another Lyra with this Thief of Sanity trigger. Spear that one. Yeah, I agree. I agree that it was the correct play this time. Hey, Salt Block, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. I think I'd rather have Healer Hawk here, huh? I think just like the random flying blocker is better. Is that absurd? I kind of don't mind buffering my health total. Like I've got a ton of beef to spend mana on. Hawk plus Aurelia is actually pretty good, isn't it? Do we know? Yes. Look, I mouse over it here. When I mouse over this, it lights up the one that that's under. Hey, J-Boz, thanks for the 4 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. I'm waiting to tell you that I got a Harry's Razors. Oh, people. Pinning the mythics of the mind games. Yeah, what I got was way better than History of Benalia. I didn't cast the Hawk because I want to hold up Siren Stormtamer to protect my Hostage Taker and my Thief of Sanity. Do I want to turn Direfleet Poisoner into Boros Charm here? I think I do. I think my health total is valuable. I think turning this into Boros Charm is fine. Yeah, it's like better than Boros Charm actually, right? Because we gain 3 as well. Oh, I missed 2 points of damage. I'm aware that I missed 2 points of damage. Let's see if we get punished for it. So they should be 2 lower. If we lose the race with them at 2, it's my fault. This helps me punch through blockers, so I'm gonna take that. All right, and that's why I said, that's why one of the reasons why this standard format is so fantastic is that unlike Modern, where your rancid matchups are like 70-30 or 80-20 or 90-10 sometimes even, like, I think that deck we just played against is one of the worst matchups this Pirate deck has in this format, and it's probably still 60-40. There's a ton of play to it on both sides, and there's a lot of interaction and back and forth that happens. They knew the Hawk was coming, right? Get him with the squawk. Zan's got some disruption. So I think I want a Thought Erasure on 2 here rather than Kitesail Freebooter because they have a Jade Light Ranger. There's a good chance I want to take that away. Or a Midnight Reaper. This is actually kind of sweet. So we just like go right up the curve, taking all their spells away. So I'm going to Thought Erasure their Chupacabra next turn most likely, and then we'll Freebooter the Vivian. I think Thief of Sanity is the best card in this deck. That or Curious Obsession. Just the cards that let you draw 2 cards per turn are very good. Are we having fun yet, opponent? One of the things that's awesome about this format is that it rewards deck knowledge as much or more than Modern. It would be hard pressured to find the ins and outs. Yeah, I like it a lot. A lot of great things going on in this format. Yeah, we're a blue-black rock deck. Did you want to play Magic this game, opponent? I am not playing this out because if they draw a removal spell, I need to protect this Kitesail Freebooter. This Vivian Reed kills us very, very quickly, so I'm not going to risk them unlocking this Vivian Reed. The beatings will continue until morale improves. Yeah, I'm just like racing in the air, so like there's no reason to do that. Ooh, ooh, found a piece of candy, chat. Found a piece of candy. Any reason you played Freebooter over Stormtamer? Yeah, I wanted to get the 1-2 into play to block their Land War Elves. Ooh, that one's scary. That one is a little scary. I'm not actually sure if the Memorial to Folly is good or not in this deck. There's a chance it's not. I'm gonna leave this back because it keeps both of these at home, so like I'm losing 1 damage to save 2. Would you look at that, chat? I'm gonna hold this here so I can Contempt plus still hold up Siren Stormtamer this turn. Thanks for the answer. Yeah, there's a chance this Memorial just turns into a Guild Gate. You should watch this auto tapper video if you haven't before. The auto tapper is great and you should use it. So there's no reason to block here. I have them dead and 2 in the air. This is insurance in case they draw another finality, so I can pick my stuff back up. Because finalities are out here. I agree. I feel like this deck has a lot of similar tools to the mono blue deck, but the black cards give you more play and more matchups. Like having Grove removal is a big deal. All right, Infection's in, extra Erasure in. Ops come out basically all the time. 62 cards. I think I cut the Hostage Takers last time. That's pretty clean. Just like Ops and Takers out, 3 Infection and a Thought Erasure in. This configuration leaves me with no removal, which might be bad. Maybe I want these cast downs in my deck, or maybe I want to leave a couple Hostage Takers in. Yeah, Wild Growth Walker can be pretty annoying. I'm gonna do this. Now the counter spells are pretty important. You want to keep their Planeswalkers off the table. They don't all play Doom Whisperer. So someone said, isn't Hostage Taker good because of their Enter the Battlefield effect? So it's actually the inverse. Hostage Taker is explicitly worse against Enter the Battlefield effects because in a world where they kill your Hostage Taker before they get to, before you get to play the thing out from under it, they get to trigger their Enter the Battlefield effects for a second time. So Hostage Taker is explicitly worse against decks full of enter play abilities. This probably isn't good enough. I think I just need some disruption, especially on the draw. Seems like not amazing, but it's fine. All right, show me double Jade Light Ranger. Don't do that. Don't show me double Jade Light Ranger. Double Branch Walker, and then a bunch of cards they can't currently cast. And double Poisoner in my hand. They don't have any black mana, so I'm just gonna hope to leave these stranded for a hot second. Mulligan's okay. I don't know about well, but we have some sources of card advantage. Generally speaking, decks that mulligan well tend to have more card advantage in them, and like Thief of Sanity and Curious Obsession are card advantage, which is nice. Gobble gobble. And then next turn I can actually, all right, or we could just, I was gonna say, if we didn't draw this here, I could Poisoner plus Dispersal, which is nice. No double black yet. God, manually tapping people are such a tilt. Especially when they're like tapping out, like holy crap. Started. This might be wrong. Like if they hit a second black, they get to guaranteed kill this. Hitting that also feels bad. So long, Obsession. So I'm going to trade this here because I had the Memorial to Folly in play, so I can pick a Poisoner back up in case they hit the 6th land for their Carnage target. Yep. So, again, this is one of those games where, like, we're kind of matching what the opponent's doing, but, like, their deck has better top decks than ours does, because they have, like, 6 mana spells in their deck. So, we are less likely to win a long game where we're not drawing 2 cards per turn. So that's why, like, having a Fathom Fleet Captain or a Curious Obsession going is, like, really pretty important, and we just don't have that going this game. So this game is pretty likely to slip away from us. Is actual factual unsummon legal in this format? What costs 2 mana and is better than a mana leak? Lookout's Dispersal. Lookout's Dispersal is the answer. Yeah, most decks have better average card quality than ours, so our goal is to beat them through card quantity. It did not think Unsummon was said. I felt like that was a big miss on my part if Unsummon was legal and I forgot about it. Yep. That's unfortunate, because it means this removal spell means they have a removal spell for my next thing as well, so this game's probably done. I'll have to play game 3 on the plate. This is a find. Let's move on to the next one here. Onward, upward, backward, forward. Does anything change on the play? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that's really that. I think every deck's better on the play than the draw, pretty much, Greg. Like, that game had nothing to do with the play versus the draw. It had everything to do with just, like, not being able to keep card advantage on the table. I knew when I suited up the Curious Obsession there was going to be some risk associated with it, but I think it's right, because, like, once you get one piece of card advantage going, it tends to snowball for you. Like, your first piece of card advantage finds you the next one, so generally it's right to just strap it up when you know they can't kill it and just hope they can't draw answers to it right away. I'm going to play this on. I'm going to play the Swamp on one, so that way if they play a Land War Elf, I can Fungal Infection it right away. They've mulliganed to 5. God bless. All right, game over. Good stuff. Cheerio, mate. Watch them just, like, dumpster us on 4 cards now that I said that. This card's very good. I think this card is just good, a good card in general. So in response to this trigger, I would like to Fungal Infection this. So, because I don't have a protection spell in my hand anyways, I'm just jamming this, and, like, if they don't have a removal spell, it'll run away with the game very quickly. If they do have a removal spell, we just, like, continue playing Magic. So this game should, unless they have, like, a dead weight, this game should be done. It actually hasn't come up yet. It actually hasn't come up yet in the matches we've played today, but one of the things that Direfleet Poisoner does really well too is it pairs well with our Menace Pirate, because, like, they'll double block your Menace Pirate, assuming that both one of their things is gonna live, and you'll just, like, get them. I suppose I should have attacked with that there and then poisonered. Yeah, I should have attacked with the poisoner and then poisonered them back. Actually. So they can Folly back the Chupacabra to then get this Golden Demise back, which is something I need to think about. But like at the same time, they're probably too far away for that to be a thing. Ah, you've activated my trap card, opponent. Ha! I love constructed playable combat tricks. They're my favorite. Boop, boop, boop. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? Good efficient use of our time manually tapping your lands there, opponent. I appreciate you. Carnage Tyrant's a lot like Tarmogoyf. The best Carnage Tyrant answer is your own Carnage Tyrant. Boom goes the green, black. Boop. That which dies feeds the Carnage Tyrant, right? Look it, Carnage Tyrant's a hungry boy. Ooh, look, Goblin Chain Whirler. Off to the Sadness Vault. To the Sadness Vault with you, Goblin Chain Whirler. To the Sadness Vault. Quickly, to the Sadness Vault. Thragtusk Beers. That's something I never want to go back to. Sadness on the stack. Sadness resolves. What are the hard matchups for this deck? The white decks that have white angels in them. Like Boros Angels and Green White Angels. How many times have I opened the vault? Probably close to 10. I've opened it a lot. I've put like 1,200 bucks into Arena at this point. Which cards don't go to the Sadness Vault for you? A very small number of mythics. Basically, the only cards I'm missing at this point are mythics that aren't 4X playable and constructed. Goblin Crater Maker. Well, ain't that a bag of dicks? Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Not quite sure what the opponent's doing. Haven't seen a build of red like this before. The Crater Maker is throwing me off. I've seen Treasure Map and Phoenix before in red, obviously, but the Crater Maker is kind of throwing me off here. Man, I really wanted them to draw a land there, so that way I could Dispersal the Phoenix. think I'm supposed to do this. Like, my hand just becomes incredibly inefficient if these cost 3. Justin Mack, thanks for the 32 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. All right, so there's a land on top of their deck. So I get to disperse. Oh, they're flipping it and playing Phoenix this turn then. Okay. Hey, the Weeb Army, treat yourself. Put my sub towards some sweet decks. Will do. Thank you for the support. It's for the 2/3 of a year. Maybe I will learn how to submit a deck when Dan's gone on, Justin. This Crater Maker, just like, it's like I got a chip in a chair, just slowly grinding away. They drew in a 3rd Phoenix, I'm probably dead. Yeah. Yeah, it feels bad. It does not, Charps. It's just for purchasing cards with cash. Hostage Taker seems great here. Again, Trim Opt because it's kind of filler. Do I trim a Fathom Fleet Captain in the face of Chain Whirler? Probably. Do I want Moment of Craving? Their creatures were 1 Crater Maker, a bunch of Phoenixes, and a Chain Whirler. Like, I think I want Cast Down before I want those cards. Poisoner's just a threat. Yeah, I might just cut all the captains. Like, I often board down on creatures and, like, I'm bringing in Hostage Takers. Like, if I go to 20 creatures, that's probably fine. And Cast Down seems fine. Good snipe, Juju. Please remember, be constructive and specific when you provide feedback on things, especially during sideboarding. Seems okay. We could get gummed up under a Goblin Chain Whirler or something like that, but I guess that's not super likely to happen. So I could look out to Dispersal a Chain Whirler. So my turn 2 will be Flash and Poisoner. My turn 3 will be Obsession the Poisoner plus Hold Up Dispersal, which seems good. If they have Dub's removal spell, I could get into a little bit of trouble, but other than Dub's removal spell, I'll be pretty okay. The problem with Contempt is that it costs black, and with 14 black, it can be difficult to cast consistently. Is it a Tribal Day? It does look like Tribal Day, doesn't it? Offering's been fine so far. Like, nothing to write home about, but just my... Actually, I just let this happen now, right? Since I drew the cast down. Like, I just don't care about this. Like I'm winning the race on board. So there's really no reason to do that thing. Why do I care because of Crater Maker? This costs 1 to activate. Great. Information is great. Pirate Leak looking pretty okay here. Are we jumping my Dire Fleet Poisoner? Why didn't we attack? Small mistake on their part there. Ooh, another piece of candy, chat. So I think I let this happen. This does let the Crater Maker kill my Dire Fleet Poisoner, but the Crater Maker is going to kill my Thief of Sanity anyways, so like they need to... Oh, I guess this can't attack now. I think I'm supposed to Dispersal that. The Phoenix is like kind of annoying. Maybe I was supposed to let the Legion War Boss resolve. I want them to kill the Dire Fleet Poisoner here. Okay, this ends up working out for me because they punted back, but I think that was the wrong thing for them to hit there. I think they should have killed the Thief of Sanity because it's the evasive card advantage. So you can kind of buy singles on Arena. So every so many packs you open, yes please, you're guaranteed to open a wild card. So like every 6 packs gets you a guaranteed wild card, and wild cards turn into any card that you want. You're buying wild cards that come with bonus extra cards that you don't have control over. Think of it as buying singles from your LGS, and they're just giving you a bunch of extra random magic cards along with it. Anytime Karn hits 2 spells, it just feels like cheating. You're just like, well, nothing is okay about this. Yeah, the way these games are playing out, I think I want the Disdainful Strokes back in my sideboard. Pretty sure I want the Disdainful Strokes back in my sideboard.
Nothing is ever truly lost.
Nothing is ever truly lost. I am Karn. I am Karn. Karn. Making a Karn Struck's like pretty bad against another Goblin Chain Boy, which I think is a reason to not do it. Does it best? I don't know. I think it does it well. Saying it's better than everything else that could play the card is like a strong statement that I'm not going to make because I haven't played everything else that plays Thief of Sanity, but I like this deck and I think Thief of Sanity is good in this deck. Thief of Sanity is a powerful threat that runs away with the game if left unchecked, and cards like Dive Down, Thought Erasure, Stormtamer, and Kitesail Freebooter make it so our thieves are often left unchecked. This matchup seems like it's probably tough on paper, and this is another matchup that Disdainful Stroke would help. So if this is a deck that people are playing after it did well in the PTQ, like Disdainful Stroke's a card that could be reasonable to bring in, have in my board again. You can find the deck on my screen via the Stream Decker widget. You can also type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. You can also find lots of great deck lists on my website, jeffhoagland.com. I'm just gonna do some math here for a hot second to confirm that this keep is bad. We're less than we're 48% hit a black source in 2 draws. And like, even if I hit a black source, I could potentially still lose with this hand, which probably means it's bad. So like, I'm like 50% to not play Magic. Is the way you gotta look at a hand like that. This hand's much better. That's how you want to consider things like that. Like, what percentage am I to win the game, and what percentage am I to not play Magic? And if those percentages line up in a way that you're happy with, take the risk. But if they don't take the risk. Hey, Tricole, thank you for the 3-month resub. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Yeah, right, Greg? It would definitely be the 1 Memorial. That was a phenomenal draw. Let us sculpt our game plan here. Anyone who was wondering where the beef was, my opponent's hand is apparently the answer. I think we're gonna hope they brick on lands for a turn or two. The extra dive down here is like a pretty okay draw. Because it means I can block with this Poisoner and then pump it up. I chose not to jam the Thief there because I have dive down in my hand so I can protect it. I think cutting opt is wrong. I think people just think like if you board a card out often, you shouldn't play it, and that's just like patently not true. Having a card that gives you more copies of everything game 1 is fine. Hey, Troll, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right. If I find a removal spell off the top of their deck, I need to find a 1 or 2 mana removal spell here so I can kill this and then Thought Erasure the other Siege Gang out of their hand. Yeah, I definitely have to take the other Siege Gang, right? Just like not close, can't beat that card. And I don't really need a second black at this point, so I'm just gonna bin that. I'm just looking for more gas. Phoenix is like only okay, because remember when we steal a Phoenix, we can't get it back. So this goes to my opponent's graveyard. So I assume they're gonna sack this other goblin and just leave themselves a 2/2 here, but I'm fine with that. I just want to use my mana efficiently this turn. I don't have anything else worth protecting long term with this. No, I don't think I can beat a pile of tokens, Greg. And I think like I'm kind of in an okay spot here, right? Like I don't think I'm terrible off. No, we get the egg. The egg just won't have a Phoenix in our discard pile to get back into play. Them with the beats. Do, 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 do. I mean, we also have 4 copies of Hostage Taker too, right? So you can counter it, or you can have your 4 copies of Hostage Taker. I'm gonna put the Disdainful Strokes back in the board, I think. We haven't played against Jeskai. Got Rune Raiders in the box. I'm not sure if I want these to be Strokes or Rune Raiders. Let's play one more match with this, then we'll move along. I want to get to 3 more decks theoretically today. Yeah, I can play till 3:30, so I can play one more with this. This is my number 1 pick for the Invitational this weekend, so I'm gonna go a little bit longer than an hour and a half. Yeah, I mean, like, best case scenario is sure, Greg. Like, if everything goes your way perfectly, like, sure, you can do whatever you want. I guess. Yeah, you can find all of the decks that we played today in the deck queue on my website, and you can also find a decks we've played in the past on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. You can also find all my YouTube videos embedded on my website, and there's deck lists in the video descriptions for all my YouTube videos. For 4 of a kind, Lookout's Dispersal Kicker. Yeah, the mono black deck performed much better than I was expecting it to. It felt way better than the chromatic black deck we played the other day. Hey, Rymo, thanks for the 2-month resub. Welcome back, I appreciate it. Yeah, you gotta play the lands that have pirate ships on them, right? Seems silly not to. So at the top of the deck, Q duo. And it'll be up on YouTube later, as always. Getting Curious Obsession on the Poisoner gets it out of shock range, which is nice. The Drake's deck often has 4 copies of whatever that card is called in it. 4 copies of Lava Coil, but I've got a Lookout's Dispersal for the first one. So they could have land second coil, which would be sad. Really want to get in one more hit with this. Yeah, it's like worst case scenario for us here. Seems unfortunate. So I get to start generating card advantage with Fathom Fleet Captain and the source of pirates that kill them, so that's nice. They haven't put any Phoenixes in the bin yet. I've got a Lookout's Dispersal in case they draw a Drake. This does die to shock though, which is a little bit sad. That was the nice thing about the other threat with the Curious Obsession, was that they had to have double coil because it doesn't die to shock. If they shock here, do I Dispersal? I think so. Definitely Dispersaling that. That was a great draw. I was gonna say, I'm gonna play the Poisoner out pre-combat just so I can make a 2-2 with Menace, but that means I can do this and have protection up while making a 2-2 Menace. Hey, Bass23, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. And now Fathom Fleet Captain's hopefully gonna get to snowball a little bit here. 1 Drake does not a blocker make. And I think I'm just gonna full smash at this point, because if they want to block Stormtamer, I could just go ahead and get them with Poisoner. I think I've made enough 2-2s that I don't need to protect this against a shock anymore. The white-based Angel mid-range decks are the hard matchups for this archetype. They have a lot of blockers for your evasive threats. I'm a big fan of constructed playable combat tricks, chat. The best part about this matchup too is the sweeper that the blue-red Drake gets to play is Fiery Cannonade, which doesn't do anything to us. So unless they have a deal. I've had 2 opponents cast Fiery Cannonade against me. It was a good time. God bless. God bless us, everyone. Yeah. Mania, KGs, thanks for the 6-month resub. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Up goes the corn. Is the donation queue still at a higher rate? For modern, it is. The modern queue takes longer to get through because playing modern decks is really slow on Magic Online. Standard decks are down to $10 donations again. The modern queue will be open for $10 donos when we get down to 20 decks. In the meantime, it is $30 or a tier 3 sub to add something from modern. I probably want the Vicious Offering in. What makes Hostage Shaker good in this matchup? So they have a lot of large threats that you really need to get through. And on top of that, they only have Lava Coil that kills this. And often they have to burn Lava Coil on your earlier creatures to not lose the game. You think playing this deck for the Invitational is hurting you a little? I know most good players will consider many cards the shock factor, like Dispersal or Poisoner. I mean, like, Poisoner is a card that's like damned if you do, damned if you don't type situation. Like, if people are familiar with Poisoner and playing around it, I then get to make bluff attacks when I don't have Poisoner, which is great. I trim Kitesail Freebooter in this matchup. It dies to shock. It doesn't get to attack past their flyers. Sure, Bruns. What am I? Need one more cut here. Maybe all these erasures are bad. Ah, I should have Dispersal. Is there any merit to playing Reaver Ambush in this deck? No, I don't think so. Up. I think the fact that it only hits like Aurelia. I guess it hits Shalai too. I don't know. 3 mana is just a lot for that effect. If you click on the Stream Decker icon in the corner of the deck list, it'll take you to the Stream Decker website with the deck list on it, which has an export to arena function. Is he dead, Jim? He's not. That's good for us. Not having to play around a sweeper is so good. So I think I just go Memorial into Stormtamer here. Rather than, I could go Drowned Catacomb Fathom Fleet Captain, but it felt like they paused, like they maybe had a shock. Since I have the protection in play, and I have lands, I'm just gonna play a turn behind to keep Siren Stormtamer up for the things that I care about. Good read on the shock, Hogland. Yeah, potentially. There are a couple of good Rakdos things. I want a Vicious Offering just yet. Yeah, we can Vicious Offering a token too, which is just good clean deck building. I'm glad we waited on the Vicious Offering. Don't dive down me, bro. Have a shock? Sure. So if I dive down this... Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and Siren Stormtamer this. So not attacking here, obviously, because this has Menace, but they have 2 blockers. Second Murmuring Mystic might be tough. I mean, like, to be fair there, in that situation we were just in, Vicious Offering was actually just worse than Cast Down would have been. I would like that one, please. This does get a little bit hairy if our opponent has... If our opponent has 2 removal spells next turn, we're going to be in some trouble. They scried top. That doesn't bode well for the home team. There is potential that that was greedy, and I should have just... If they Lava Coil the Hostage Taker, I'm going to dive down it rather than Stormtamer it. And the reason for that is it protects it in case my opponent has a copy of... a second copy of Lava Coil, because it will have Hexproof for the rest of the turn. Wait, what? I have a Stormtamer in... Sure. Alright, sweet. Yeah. Yeah, this is the deck for this weekend. This is the deck for this weekend. This deck's sweet. I think I was pretty happy with that. I think I was pretty happy with that. What were the changes I did for today? I cut the 4th Fathom Fleet Captain, and I went up to a 3rd Thought Erasure in the main, which I think is fine. Fathom Fleet Captain coming in multiples is often clunky for you. I cut the last straggling unclaimed territory since I added another Thought Erasure and added a swamp. I'm not 100% sure about the sideboard. I think the Vicious Offerings are fine. I think the 2-2 split between Cast Down and Offering is fine. I'm not 100% sure on these strokes. Fungal Infection's great. I think I like four Hostage Takers. I think that's a good improvement too. I think between the Offerings and the Hostage Takers, it's worthwhile. The Memorial of Folly's been okay. I think I can afford 1 tapped land on 23 lands, and I don't think I need the dual land and a Guild Gate. So, we have played Cast Down in the main. If you go back and watch, we played this deck, and this is a good plug for my website. So if you haven't been to my website before, in fact, I'm gonna plug my website on stream here for a second. If you haven't been to my website before and you like this deck and it's the first time you've seen us play this, go to jeffhoagland.com. There is a standard decks button here. There's a ton of awesome things. Bant Defenders, 5-color Lich, Fog. Down here at the bottom is Blue-Black Pirates. And you can find a deck list. I'm probably going to update this deck list, the one that we played on stream today after I'm done. And then down here, there's 8 other sessions of us playing this deck. And we've played Cast Down in the past in this deck. And basically, it's just dead in too many matchups game 1. You, like, have Cast Downs against, like, Jeskai control. Or situations where people only have legendary creatures. Yeah, the banners are really good. So Thought Erasure is just a card that's like good in most situations. It's rarely dead, whereas Cast Down has a lot of situations where it ends up dead. And like between Hostage Taker and Direfleet Poisoner and counter spells and discard, I think we have just enough interaction for creature decks game 1 that I can afford to keep the Cast Downs on the sideboard. So my one last thought between now and the Invitational is probably going to be, do I want these to be strokes or do I want them to be another threat like Rune Raider? And I'll run some numbers on the ins and outs and different matchups to try and figure that out probably.